haunted church in a silent town. Paranormal horror story. The town was an unremarkable, quiet place, surrounded by dense forests. Deniz had moved to this small town to escape the noise and chaos of the city and to find some peace. Tired of the clamor of urban life, he had decided to rent an old house in the secluded village. At the entrance of the town, he noticed a moss-covered stone sign. "Welcome, Hollow Creek." Along the road, the townspeople moved in an unusual silence. They looked at Deniz, but no one smiled. Some watched from windows, others walked quietly from afar. At first, Deniz thought this was just the natural demeanor of a small town, but instinct whispered that something was not right. In the center of the town stood an old church. The stonework looked centuries old, and the cross on its roof had darkened with time. The church door was closed, but dim light seeping through the stained glass suggested movement inside. With a mix of curiosity and unease, Deniz began walking toward it. The villagers usually avoided talking about the church. Some warned, "Don't go there. Strange things happen at night." Others just nodded silently. Deniz's curiosity overpowered his fear, driving him forward with each step, wanting to unravel the church's mystery. When he finally dared to enter, the heavy wooden door creaked open. The church interior was thick with dust and dampness. The chairs were scattered, some overturned. On the walls hung old paintings, many nearly unrecognizable. As Deniz stepped inside, it was as if the silent whispers of the past were emanating from the corners. He felt a faint breeze, though the church was closed. An icy chill ran down his spine. His heart raced, but he could not resist his curiosity. In the dim light and shifting shadows of the church's depths, a force seemed to beckon him. This was the beginning of the strangest and most terrifying adventure Deniz would ever encounter. As Deniz stepped deeper into the church, he was met with profound silence. Dust layers had settled over the chairs, and the old paintings had nearly faded away. But what caught his attention most was a faint whisper coming from the farthest corner of the church. At first, he thought it was the wind or the creaking of the old stones, but the whisper was calling his name. "Deniz, Deniz." His heart started pounding rapidly. He wanted to step back, but curiosity and fear propelled him forward. The whisper seemed to echo from the depths of the church, as if the shadows themselves were following him. Deniz discovered an old staircase leading down to the church basement. Each step groaned under his weight, and the echoes of the stones reverberated through the silent air. The basement door was heavy and rusty. When he opened it, the dim light revealed an old altar and traces of burned candles. At that moment, he felt a cold draft. The candles seemed to light themselves and then extinguish. Squinting into the shadows, Deniz noticed a figure moving along the wall. It was human-shaped but had no face. His breath caught in his throat. He wanted to retreat, but his legs felt frozen. Suddenly, the whispers rose in volume. "Don't go. Stay here." Deniz stumbled backward, nearly falling. The basement felt like a gateway to another dimension, where the restless spirits of the past still wandered. In that moment, he realized the church was more than just stone and wood. It carried a curse. He rushed out of the basement toward the church door. Outside, the town remained in its eerie silence, as if nothing had happened. Yet the fear inside him gave way to curiosity. This mysterious church would call him again, for Deniz had now stepped into the secrets of the town and its haunted church. The next morning, Deniz's mind was haunted by the terrifying experience in the church basement. Even with his eyes closed, the faceless shadow and whispering voices lingered in his thoughts, but his curiosity overpowered his fear. He knew he couldn't rest until he uncovered the secrets of the town and the church. Denny decided to speak with the townspeople. He first visited an elderly librarian. In the old library, filled with dusty books, he studied the town's historical records. In the late 1800s, a priest and several villagers had mysteriously disappeared within the church. The records mentioned that during certain rituals, some participants vanished without a trace. The townspeople had linked these events to a curse, and since then, the church had become a symbol of fear. Later that evening, Deniz returned to the church. As he opened the door, a sense of foreboding filled him. The interior was colder, heavier. The chairs and paintings remained as they were, but the shadows seemed to move, approaching the basement stairs. The whispers coming from the stone walls called to him. Descending into the basement, he saw old ritual symbols around the altar, with candles mysteriously burning. He noticed an inscription, "The soul who stays here shall remain trapped forever." It was clear the church's dark power was still active. Suddenly, the shadows on the walls thickened. Human-shaped figures, faceless, seemed to be the spirits of the villagers who had vanished long ago. Deniz's breath caught, but fear and curiosity propelled him forward. The whispers echoed in his ears. "We are here. We have been waiting for you." Calming himself, Deniz faced the shadows. One figure, faceless but powerful, approached and whispered, "This church holds dark secrets. If you do not leave, you will remain here forever." Feeling his heart race, Deniz decided not to retreat. Instead, he ventured further, discovering a hidden room. Inside, he found an old diary detailing forbidden rituals and the souls who had vanished. Each line heightened his fear, but also deepened his curiosity. Deniz now understood. The church was more than stone. Time and spirits were trapped here. The curse of the past still lingered, and Deniz had stepped right into the heart of that curse. After reading the old diary in the hidden room, Deniz ventured deeper into the church basement. The shadows thickened, and the whispers grew louder. He felt that there was no turning back. The church's curse was not letting him go. Suddenly, the shadows surrounded him. Human-shaped but faceless figures seemed to restrict his movements. The whispers echoed loudly. Stay here. Your soul will be ours." Deniz felt his heart pounding wildly. But instead of panicking, he decided to use his wits. In a corner of the basement, he noticed an old exit door. Running toward it, the shadows tried to block him. But Deniz pushed forward with determination. When he opened the door, the air outside was fresh and normal. The town streets remained eerily quiet, but Deniz felt the freedom. From the outside, the church appeared to be just an old stone building. Yet, Deniz knew there was a dark world inside, silently waiting. On his way home, one question lingered in his mind. Has the curse truly ended, or will it call me back one day? That night, as he tried to sleep, he heard a faint whisper. "Deniz, come back." His heart raced, but this time fear mixed with curiosity. Deniz had become part of the dark secrets of the town and the church, and those secrets would follow him forever.